Okay, so what do you get when you combine traditional and modern supernatural angst with the Impala?
What? What do you get?
You get this episode, of course. This is the episode Baby, and I gotta say, I'm kind of confused why the supernatural writers want to name their episode after my car. Anyway, jokes aside, this episode is it's basically what's the word I'm looking for? It's basically original supernatural. It's the thing that made us love it in the first place. It's Dean and Sam joking with each other. I mean, hell, they even have the my name's Sammy joke back or jerk bitch. I mean, they have like a bunch of brick jokes. It's
on the song jokes. Sam making fun of Dina for his music taste.
Yeah, it's everything that we loved about the early Supernatural that's brought back in this one episode, and it's perfect. But that's not what this review is going to be about. What it's mostly going to be about is the fact of this is put in through Baby's perspective. And what did you think of it? Because I thought it was excellent.
I thought it was awesome that we got to see what was kind of going on within the car when we don't really get to see too much of that. Like, we don't really get to see him sleep in the car at all until this episode. And we don't really see... We see some of the interactions with Sam and Dean a lot in the car, but I feel like we got to see a little bit more of what we normally don't get to see.
Yeah, it's, like, it brings me back to what God said earlier about, how they were never really homeless, the car being their home, and then Sam saying, we're home.
Yep, that was cool. I'm like, I see what you did there. You totally took Chuck's line.
But the one problem I have with that line was the fact that the bunker isn't home.
Well, the car was always their home. The bunker is like a home away from home.
Yeah,
it's where they actually get to stay. It's not them staying at a motel like they always do. Like I was just rewatching one of the episodes from season 8 when they get the bunker and Dean was geeking out about his room.
Yeah. It's like, I just feel like they're veering dangerously close to what Sam was like in Slumber Party, where he didn't view the bunker as home, he just like a place where they worked. Oh. And then like in season 10, he called the bunker a home. So, like I feel like they were veering dangerously close to just erasing that kind of character development.
I feel like Sam and Dean, they never had much luck with homes, because even if they were able to stay at some place for an extended period of time, like Sam at college or Dean with Lisa, they were able to stay for a while, but it just never worked out because their past came back. So I think that's why Sam wasn't as willing to say the bunker was home, because he was afraid that once he acknowledged it as home, it was not going to last, that they would once again lose another home, versus the Impala, they can say it's their home and not lose it, because seriously, try to take that thing away from Dean, you kind of pay for it.
Yeah, but Baby did not look good by the end of this episode.
So. No, she did not, but she's been through worse. You remember this time when the demon flipped her over? Or when Abaddon keyed it?
Or the truck.
Oh, the truck.
That was much worse. I mean,
that was worse. And then there's that time that Meg ran it through a sign.
I don't think much. I'm pretty sure during that time there wasn't really any damage to the car.
Well, there was probably some...
Well, none that we saw.
Undercarriage damage.
None that we saw.
That we saw, anyways.
But I think this episode, like, her windshields are broken, her back window's broken, I'm pretty sure some of her headlights and stuff are messed up.
Well, and, like, her front bumper's dent.
Yeah,
but Dean's fixed her up.
Yeah.
And he'll do it again.
I do wonder where he gets the money to, replace things like windows.
They're con men. They hustle poker and they commit credit card fraud.
They never mentioned that they do that recently. I mean,
True. They did make the reference to the hustling pool in season 10 when Inside Man, when Sam and Castiel went to go get Bobby's help, and Dean went to must be a local bar, and he hustled some teenagers out of some money playing pool.
And we're gonna go into the fringe brilliance of this, in that there is none, because it's a standalone episode. It's on episode, so there's nothing really tying in everything else. But what does make some type of fringe horror is the fact that the monsters know who the darkness is.
Yeah, that was interesting. I was not seeing that one coming.
Yeah, did I? I'm thinking, wait, how old are you? Like you're about 100,000 years old, give or take.
Yeah.
You know the darkness. How do you? I'm pretty sure you're not born this way.
Yep.
Know about this entity when demons and angels think it to be
like
a bedtime story.
Yeah, because it said that Cassius was like, it's just a bedtime story that like God and the archangels would tell them to scare them. He never imagined it to be real. But now we're realizing that both Heaven and Hell had security systems set up to go off if she ever got released.
Yeah, when I first saw that, I replayed it several times, and then I said, and part of me going towards my Dalek folder, I said, "Explain, explain," and they didn't. I'm thinking, okay, fine, okay, like it's fine.
They might explain later.
Maybe, but I'm saying it's fine. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. The monsters knowing about the darkness is fine. It's especially since it's a type of monster that we've never seen before and probably won't ever see again, and one that can survive decapitation.
That I did not see coming. I'm like, oh, cut off his head. That'll be fine. That usually works for everything else. Nope.
I kind of saw it coming. I'm thinking, no, something's not right here. There's the fact that Dean was in handcuffs in his car. Like the thing about it is, future writers of any show or book or anything, don't start your chapter or episode with like them in like some dangerous state, and then said like 40 or something hours later.
They do that a lot though.
I know, but it kind of like kills the story a little bit because you're like you're not gonna be in danger until like this one time. You're trying to put them in danger before that scene happens. You're like they're gonna be fine. I'm not invested in it. Though Supernatural did actually make me worried for Dean because even though I knew he wasn't gonna die because when Sheriff Dumbass first attacked him,
it was Deputy Dumbass. He killed the sheriff.
Whatever.
Oh, he did get to finish his deputy joke.
Yes.
From season 3.
Yeah, but when they're on the ground, I can't see him. I'm like, Dean. I can't tell you how many times I said that. Like, I was basically Cass.
Dean, are you okay? Dean, what's going on?
And I will say I find the lack of physical Cass in this episode disturbing.
Well, he's still recovering. I mean, that attack dog spell did affect him on a quite physical level, and in many ways, I think it wasn't long before that he actually regained his grace, so he's probably still transitioning and getting that back, and then on top of that spell, he's probably just needs to take a breather like Sam keeps saying. You just need to rest up and get your strength back. They're going to need it later.
Probably. I mean, what do I know about an angel? I mean, it was an angel that had a spell put on him that typically kills the victim. Yep. Like
it was affecting him much slower. He was getting more and more violent as the longer he had the spell on him.
Though I wonder what they're going with this. With the monster building an army. Do other monsters know about the darkness?
There has to be monsters. I mean, the vampire alpha is still alive. He probably knows something. I mean, he's been around longer than most monsters.
The vampire alpha is like Sarah Gamble territory, and he hasn't appeared ever since Jeremy took over. I mean, season 7, he says, "See you next season," as if we were gonna see him next season because that was a fourth wall joke, and he's never shown up.
Maybe he says like next season, like maybe like saying like the next time you guys screw things up again.
So, well, like I said, it's Sarah Gamma territory, and we were gonna see him. I think we would have seen him by now.
We never know. I mean, now that Death's dead, there's a lot of wiggle room that people can now use. And in reviews, they said that they released before season 11 came out was that they're going to say that there's various different people, both friend and foe, would be coming back around to help the boys in some way, shape, or form, whether maybe it's the visions or they're physically coming back. We just don't know.
Speaking of visions, Michael.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen some fan theories saying that the vision that Sam got from the second episode is his memories of being in the cage with Lucifer and Michael, and it's kind of like it might be foreshadowing that we might get to see Lucifer again.
Though, if we do, I don't think it's gonna be long because I've heard that Mark Gatz it's in a different show now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what the show's name is, but all I know is that he's in a different show. So if we do see him, it probably won't be for that long.
But he might try to come back. I mean, they could have filmed it before he's on this new show. I mean, a lot of fans love him as Lucifer. Though my sister says that if Lucifer comes back, he probably can't come back as Mark because when he left Mark to go to Sam, technically Nick, who was the vessel, is dead. I'm like, yes, that might be true, but fans love him so much that, like I said earlier, with the fact that Dustin's now dead, we can actually get away with a lot of things where they might try to bring him back as Mark.
I don't think we can because they clearly say that there's a new rule now that Death's dead. Everything that lives dies. So.
Well, that Reaper that we got introduced to mainly meant that with Sam and Dean because they've died and come back so many times that they're frustrated and they're like, well, you've been causing so much trouble now, so the next time you actually die, we're gonna make sure you stay that way.
But that doesn't make sense why it just applied to Dean and Sam when like everything. There are so many other people that in the future could get such special treatment like Sam and Dean have gotten. So I feel like that strict rule would apply to everyone.
This is true, but it's only the 4th episode, so there's still a lot of time for them to explain things or at least give us an idea of what they're going to do, where they're going to take the season.
Before we move on from this, let me just say Billy's warning about death was actually a smart move because if they didn't do that, I probably wouldn't have been that worried when Sam and Dean when Dean was being attacked. Because let's be honest, Dean was the star of this episode.
Oh yeah, because
it's his car.
Baby's his. You don't touch the car. Which, I'm surprised he didn't quite question why the purse was still in the car.
I think he was, but he was in a life or death situation.
Yeah, he was. I suppose if he would have found it in a different circumstance, he'd be like, what the heck is this doing in the car?
Yeah, it's he saw a purse that wasn't... I'm pretty sure the fact that he actually took the time to pick it up meant that he knew it didn't belong. He was actually thinking, why is this here?
But then he's like, crap, I need something.
I need a penny, and like this could possibly hold a penny, so who gives a shit? It's like, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, as what Dean would say.
Yeah.
It's hard to judge a Hunter episode because they're, like I said, they're standalone. They're not really bearing on the plot that much.
They're like filler episodes that kind of give us what we want.
Yeah, they're like, I wouldn't call them filler episodes because the filler episode means it's padding the running time and it's not overly important and it doesn't really matter in terms of storyline. This one, while it's not connected to the storyline, it matters to it because it's the premise of the show, like Sam and Dean hunting things that go up in the night.
Yep.
If we just had like this, it's also this premise that allows the show to keep its seasonal runtime because we didn't have this. We'd probably be like Walking Dead long seasons.
Yeah. So or we would just ended with season 5 like they thought they would have ended with.
I don't think it's like that. I'm talking about like in terms of how long each season would be. Like season 3 was 16 episodes long, and how if it was longer, Sam would have found a way to get Dean out of his deal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like these filler episodes are needed. I don't think though they can be bad, they're still needed because that's the premise of the show. The premise of the show isn't there's this gigantic beast that's coming out and I got a better one. Cthulhu's out. All right, we better hunt him until we die. No, that's not what it is. It's about Cthulhu is here and we're gonna hunt him, but there are other people in danger by this other thing that is easier to maintain. So we do that first.
Well, it's kind of like what they said, because they know darkness is out. They know that she's gonna be growing and that she's gonna start causing trouble, but they don't know anything about her, so they're like, okay, until we get something solid to go on, we still need to do the family business, which is hunt, save people. Yeah. So that's kind of was the point, I think, was this episode. But it was also to kind of bring us back to season 1, to, how much more closer they were, I guess, in a sense. Because they did say that they're going to bring us back kind of to where they are a family. They need to, stick together like they used to get through it.
Yeah, they're doing quite well with this.
Yes, they are.
I was kind of skeptical about episode from the car's perspective, I was thinking, oh wait, maybe it's gonna be a human in this episode.
I wish.
And then as I heard more rumors, I'm thinking, okay, that's not it. So I'm like, so you're gonna be filming from the car's perspective. Tread lightly, because you're gonna be walking on some thin ice.
Yep.
But the cinematography, the choreography is great, and you can just see the fact that when you start fighting Baby, there's no holding back. It's a beatdown. Well, not exactly a beatdown, but the best that Dean can give you.
Yep.
But I am slightly interested in how killing the alpha brings the others back to human.
Well, a lot of lore is like that, where if you kill the leader or the main person that did the biting, the infection, usually if you kill that person, then the line, like the bloodline or whatever, breaks, which revert people back to normal. A lot of movies and books use that storyline.
Yeah, but this is supernatural I'm talking about. I mean, like in werewolf lore, if you kill like the person who made you, you become human again, and that's not what happens in Supernatural.
Not all of them. There was Van Helsing. That wasn't the case for him. He had to get the cure that Dracula had in order to become back to human.
I'm talking about real life werewolf lore.
Okay, real life.
And they kind of go based off real life werewolf lore, while editing a little bit. And even so, most of the lore is true in some senses, but
well, and they do their research, but I think they don't always. They want to go with a direction that they feel like that fits the show better.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is the fact is killing a pack leader ending up being the cure for the other members is something that Supernatural's never done in its 11-year-long runtime, which is what I find interesting. I'm thinking, how many other monsters are out there that work this way too?
Suppose like with the Madison episode in season 2 where they thought killing the werewolf that bit her would have changed her back, but wound up not being the case, which resulted in a very sad moment for Sam. That affected him quite a bit afterwards, but I feel like you can't always do that because then it just, after a while, it's kind of like...
That's the tension?
And it's kind of like, oh, come on, we just know if you're going to kill the leader or the alpha, they're just going to get turned back to normal. Like, you're not going to quite get as entertained of, like, how are they going to fix this? How are they going to try to cure these people?
But it actually reminded me of something. The fact that Dean was focusing predominantly on the pack leader when he found out who he was, instead of the woman who kept attacking him and leaving her be, was actually showing that he's agreeing with Sam about how we're supposed to save people and not just kill everything. Because in earlier seasons before that, he probably would have actually cut her head off too.
Because I mean, especially after the season 3, 4, and 5 with the whole apocalypse thing, after that was all done, shit kind of hit the fan because the rule book was thrown out because they had to do certain things that were considerably, immoral to do the right thing, and then, they kind of had to get used to doing, stuff that made them uncomfortable that they normally wouldn't do to get the job done, to making sure that the majority of the people lived. But now that, in the first episode, where Sam and Dean talking, Sam's like, when do we forget how to do this? When do we forget that we need to save the people, not just the one? So I think that was kind of neat because they had forgotten because of all the demon and angel stuff that they had to deal with. So now they're more focused on the, hunting, saving people, hunting things, family visits, are trying to go back to that.
And I completely agree with you. And we are going to wrap this up. The highlights of this episode basically are Baby itself, brotherly moments, goodnight jerk, goodnight bitch, all those brick jokes, and that cast scene. That cast scene was just funny.
That was.
I give this episode a slightly above average. Who am I kidding? I gave it a moderately above average rating. It's well directed, well scripted, well written, well choreographed. It's everything that we felt, everything about Supernatural that we fell in love with in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You?
I agree. When I heard that they were making an episode from Baby's point of view, I was actually excited. course, I might have been a little more excited that they did a human Impala, which I think maybe because of this episode, they might be more willing to do that. But I was really excited about this episode, and when I got to watch it, I'm like, yes, this is really awesome. We finally get to see a little bit more of the boys that we normally don't get to see, so that was really awesome.
And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you later.